I am in love with this Jerusalem artichoke. First of all, it looks like little sunflowers. It looks like little rays of sunshine. I love it. But not only that, underground, it's making edible tubers. This is like a survival food. So it's a perennial vegetable that makes potato-like tubers underneath the ground. And from my understanding, this is my first year growing it, but from my understanding, it makes like a lot of tubers under the ground. I guess we'll find out if I ever go to dig them up. But I just planted this spring, I planted like 5 shriveled up tubers that I almost killed. My mom gave them from me from somebody else, and they just sat in a box till they like wilted and looked real sad. And I said, well, they're either going to die in a box on my counter or they're going to die when I plant them, so I might as well plant them. And look, aren't I so glad that I planted them? But my plan for this is I have this awkward bed beside my house that's like partial shade, full of weeds, really. It's got one iris in it, some volunteer tomatoes that I don't know what came from. I did plant some zinnias here, but the perennials here are thistles. The devil's thistle, I can't remember what it's called. Carolina and nightshade, I think. And mint. I planted mint here and it has spread magically like I wanted it to. But I think what I'm going to do this winter or early next spring is clear this bed out. Obviously the mint is still going to stay because it's like impossible to get rid of. But that's kind of where I wanted it here anyway. And I'm going to expand this whole bed into nothing but Jerusalem artichoke. Won't that be lovely? And then I can have a whole bed of sunshine yellow flowers. But that isn't really why I turned the camera on today. But I had to show that to you. If you're new here, hi, my name's Kim. This is Honey Trail Farm. So the plan for the day, because I've procrastinated and put it off quite possibly as long as I can. That seems to be the theme of the year, as I've just been procrastinating. But mainly because it's been so daggone hot out that working in the tunnel would be almost impossible unless I want to die of a heat stroke. But we have nice cool weather right now. It's like I'm cold, but I won't be because the sun came out and it's going to be hot in the tunnel still. But it's not going to be like 110 degrees. Remember all those seeds I started a few weeks ago? This is them now. And I didn't label a single thing. Oopsie. I know kind of what things are. This has got to be the tatsoi. This is the lovely Italian dandelion with some lettuce, I think. Maybe this is the tatsoi. I think I planted a bok choy and I don't know. And spinach and something else green and some kohlrabi. This has got to be kohlrabi and some lettuce. So the only things I really don't know what they are is like the Asian greens, and that's fine. They're in the same family anyway. Who cares? But the goal is to get them planted. I'm not going to say today because I'm not sure if it's going to be today or not. And there's just kind of nothing I can do about that. I need to come in here and pick so many free cherry tomatoes. The reason why I'm not sure if I'm going to get 100% done or not is because I need my husband to be home to move the compost with some kind of equipment with a bucket on it, whichever he chooses to use. I don't know how to use that. Maybe this winter I'll put that on my list of things to do, is learn how to operate the equipment myself. Because it would come in handy, wouldn't it? But what I can do right now is peel the plastic off and broad fork and get ready for planting so that when it's time to plant, it's much easier. You aren't supposed to be in here, turkey. This is where cows live. the first order of business is to locate the broad fork, because I was very irresponsible in about May and left it out in the field, and now the weeds are grown up, so I have to find it in the jungle. What I need to do first, though, I think, is wheel hoe my bean bed and carrots before it really gets out of hand. So, BRB. This has got to be good enough for now because I'm already sweating, which means it's going to be even hotter inside of the tunnel. Well, it's later in the day. As per usual, nothing ever goes the way I think that it's gonna go in my head. But on the plus side, it's the same day and I'm going to complete my task. I might not be able to get them planted today, but I'm going to at least prep the bed. So as you can see, I've taken off the landscape fabric. I'm going to try to move away from landscape fabric, but I've just been in survival mode. Plus, I'm turning a ancient hayfield into a garden space, which comes with a lot of seeds in the seed bank, you know? But I expected this ground to be super compacted, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it's really not. It is closer to the walkways, but like, this is perfectly good, workable soil. But what I need to do to get this ready to be planted into straight away is apply a fresh layer of compost, which I'm happy to say we are making on the farm 100% of our compost, which has been a goal of mine, and now I've accumulated enough poop to do it. But the problem is I have not figured out how to make weed-free compost yet. And so it has weed seeds in it, which defeats the purpose. But what are you gonna do? Doesn't this look lovely? It's so nice to be kind of done for the season and not be so darn overwhelmed all the time so that I can appreciate what I'm doing. This just feels like a fresh start. For one, it rained. We had been in a drought for a while and it was just feeling so bleak and depressing and just dry and hot, and the temperatures have cooled and we got nice rain and it's gonna rain in the weekend. Like, it just feels good. I've been having some technical difficulties with my equipment. My hard drive died, which is so depressing. For one, I shot a full day's vlog in it. Like, that was gonna be a long one, and it's gone, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. What does suck is the 2 years of footage that I lost, that I cannot get back, because my external hard drive, which I store all of my footage, all the raw video that I've taken over the last 2 years, our family pictures are on there. I just have so much invested in that little piece of technology, and it died. But honestly, there's nothing I can do about it. No use crying over spilled milk. Is there anything more beautiful than a soil block? I love making these. It's one of my favorite ways to start seeds. It takes slightly longer if you're doing bigger things that need transplanted. But as for these little guys that don't ever get potted up, I sow them in these little blocks, and then they get planted in these little blocks. This is my favorite way, because all you have to do is pull the blocks apart. There's no like fussing with the poking each individual plant out of the plug tray. That is my nightmare. This is a lettuce variety that's new to me this year. I haven't ever grown it before. It's called Winter Density. It's a seed I got from Baker Creek, and it's supposed to be super cold hardy, which is exactly what I need since I'm planting these late September. I'm hoping I can still get a harvest off of them before they die in the wintertime, because our light gets so low here in the wintertime. You have to have things to maturity by the time November. I think our last 10-hour day is sometime in November. So all of my crops need to be of size by November, that date in November. And then they can maintain themselves, and I can harvest off of them during the wintertime. But they're not going to be actively growing. All of these are in little squares. You just break off the square and you plant them. And then just follow the same line on them. All you have to do is poke them in and put you gotta cover the roots. One tray down, 5 to go. Thank you. Stuck in my bed, I'm gonna kill you. You know what these are?
No.
Italian dandelion. Man, what? Dandelion. I don't really know how close these are supposed to be. I feel like they can go closer. These are dandelion greens. I got the seeds from Baker Creek, but I think it's just like an Italian dandelion variety. I can't remember what it's called. But I'm pretty sure that they're really cold hardy, because I saw J.M. Fortier growing them in his winter tunnel in Quebec. So, I thought, well, that looks promising. I'm gonna try it too. My daughter Evelyn is getting to use my new knee pad. Technically, I think they call it a kneeling pad. That the Garden Answer channel sent me. How fun is that? All you garden people know who she is. Well, I am definitely out of light. I know it doesn't look like it in here, but me and my daughter Evelyn finished planting 5 trays of winter goodness that, fingers crossed, we'll be able to eat. But if you don't try, you don't get anything, even if it doesn't work out. It's a lesson learned, and stop procrastinating if it doesn't work, because this will hurt my feelings, because winter salads are so much superior to any other season of salad. They're just the sweetest salads there are. And I'm very much looking forward to eating from here, so if it fails, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to show you one more thing that I'm excited about before I go. You can see behind me, well, way behind me is peppers, but these are sprouting broccoli, which is my new favorite thing. Regular broccoli is canceled. We are only growing sprouting broccoli from here on out. For one, it's delicious. For two, you get so many more harvests off sprouting broccoli than you do. I've already harvested stems and stems of this. Like, you can see the nubs where I've taken the sprouts off. So these are smaller ones. The first ones were bigger. But this will give me broccoli until it doesn't anymore, which I'm gonna guess is about December. The temps might get too cold, but I'm so excited for this. I have broccolis here, sprouting broccolis. The variety that I like the best so far is this one. It's called Happy Rich. I have 2 different varieties, and the other one was planted at the exact same time and has not given me a single broccoli yet, and that one was Bernarda. And this variety, Happy Rich, I've already taken 2, I want to say cuttings, but I've harvested twice off of these plants, and they honestly need another harvest, because the little florets look like they could burst at any moment's notice. Then I have Brussels sprouts that I'm fairly certain is not going to come to fruition, but it's okay. And then at the end, I have that cabbage that I planted that is already like quadrupled in size. They were like this big when I planted them. Not super confident that I'll actually get cabbage, but hey, it's worth a shot. This sprouting broccoli is also sweeter than regular broccoli. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to come back in a further video and finish planting. I've got maybe a third left of this row, and I'm going to sow some Hackeri turnips, which are fast-growing salad turnips, radishes, maybe spinach. We'll see. Arugula. I would be so sad if I missed arugula, and I'm about to miss the window. Anyway, I'm going to go in. It's well past it. I think it's like 8 o'clock at night. I still have to make dinner. Looks like it's sandwiches for dinner today. Sorry, not sorry. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.